Welcome back, everybody. I'm Thomas Roberts, and I'm live here in Charleston as we continue to cover the Mother Emanuel massacre. That is the church steeple you can see behind me, and the police still have the intersection and the street in front of the church cordoned off right now. Jason Johnson is joining me. He is a political science professor at Hiram College. He's also a contributor to NBC BLK. He also worked on Clementa Pinckney's first state Senate campaign. Jason, it's good to have you here, and obviously our heartfelt condolences to you for the loss of such a treasured friend and a person that you believed in, who at such a young age was able to achieve that position of being elected. What motivated him?
Thomas, it was just an absolute love for his community. It sounds like a cliche, but, you know, Clem grew up in the poorest parts of South Carolina in the Low Country. And the reason I was down there to help him to campaign, he was a couple years older than me. I had graduated from college, and the Supreme Court had redrawn the districts from black majority districts to white majority districts. And he wanted to make sure that he could continue to represent all people in his community. He was a deeply, sincerely dedicated man, not just to his spiritual walk in life, but his political walk in life, which is what makes this tragedy so serious. It wasn't just an attack on a church. It was an attack on political power. It was an attack on black people. And that's something I don't think we can forget, even in the midst of our pain and tragedy.
Well, and we still wait to learn the details of the alleged shooter who is now in custody, this Dylan Roof, what his motivation was. Did he know the history? Was he schooled and scholarly enough to know about the Reverend? Was he scholared in what this church represents for Charleston, South Carolina, being the most historic black church south of Baltimore, its history? But what's interesting, too, and as you talk, Jason, about the Reverend, the day, how it unfolded yesterday, he had his work to do as a state senator, and then he finished that up and came over to the church for Bible study. And to run the Bible study that happened at the church behind me last night. So at the age of 41, do you feel like he has left his indelible mark on this city and now on the nation?
Well, you know, remains to be seen. I mean, the most immediate mark that he's left is a hole in our hearts. The hole in his wife, in Jennifer's heart, in his children's hearts, in the hearts of those of us who ever worked with him, who ever heard, you know, his big smile, the way he would hug you and have something positive to say for his political allies and political supporters. The nation will learn over the next couple of days what a tremendous asset he was in a state that's often rife with political, social, and racial conflict. And so I don't think anyone's work is ever done when they're taken away by tragedy, but I can certainly say that the impact that he's already made and the conversations that will hopefully spring from this, like, this is a time to talk about politics, to talk about white supremacy and violence and what might be the motivations and gun issues. I think the conversations that come to this will add to the legacy that he's already established.
NBC BLK contributor Jason Johnson. Jason, again, I'm very sorry for the loss of your friend, but thank you for joining me with your reflections on the Reverend. I just want to point out that